Dear Lord, we thank you for the day, the blessings you've given us. Thank you for the students that are in class. Thank you for Carly, Lord. Just help her in her classes, help her get caught up. Be with the ones that are distance learning, help them to stay caught up and stay focused. I just guide and lead in everything we do. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So first of all, did you have any questions?
I didn't get to do my homework because I didn't get home until like 11:30 last night.
Okay. So,
But like I know I understand everything that we went over.
what was 11 through 65, every other odd. All right, so for those of you who are distance learning, again, quadratic equations, if we're using the quadratic, that's wrong page. What page we're on, huh? Page 245. All right, so we're using quadratic function, quadratic formula. So we had a couple questions, one on 23. Your class is selling boxes of flower seeds at a fundraiser. The total profit P depends on the amount of X your class charges for each box of seeds. The equation is P equals 0.5 X squared plus 25X plus 150. Models profit of the fundraiser. What is the smallest amount in dollars that you can charge and make a profit of at least $125? So X, what is the smallest amount in dollars? Profit X that you can charge and make a profit of 125. So problem 2, that's what I thought. All right, so this is a profit, and so we want to make at least $125. So that's that profit. 125 equals 0.5 X squared plus 25X plus 150. Take the 125 the other side. 0 equals negative 0.5 X squared plus 25X plus 125. So we want to solve for X. So we're going to use the quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. My b is 25, so that's negative 25 plus or minus square root. 25 squared is 625 minus 4 times a, which is negative 0.5, times c, which is 125. Over 2 times negative 0.5. So negative 25 plus or minus 625. 4 times 0.5 is 2. 2 times 150 is 2 times 125 is 250 over negative 1. Because 2 times negative 0.5. So that's going to be 25 plus or minus square root of 775. So you want to take your calculator and calculate what 775 is. $27.8. So that's 25 plus or minus, what did I say it was? 27.8. 27.83, 84, round it off. So if we add those together, that's 54.84. If we subtract those, that's going to be a negative 0.84 and we wouldn't be charging a negative amount of dollars, so 54.84 is my X. So I want to be able to figure out profits. Go back to problem 2. I did something wrong here. So 125, take that over as 125. No, that is 25. That is going to be wrong. 25. This is going to be 50. That's going to be 675. Should be 25 plus or minus. Square root of 625 is 675. Should know that. I think it's 25. 675 square root 25.98. And it's still getting me the wrong answer. 5x squared plus 25x minus 150. And I'm doing everything wrong. Sorry, guys. Minus 1. Minus 275. Square root of 75. 8.66. Okay. So 25 plus that is 33.6. 7. Or 66. And 25 minus 8.66 is 16.34. All right. So besides my 2 mistakes I messed, or 3 mistakes I messed up with, I wrote down the problem wrong for one thing, so did that. And so we get $33.66 is one thing I could charge, or $16.34 is something else I could charge. So that they want to know the least amount I can charge. So 1634 would be the amount. And again, if you look at the numbers on the side, you can see where it says see problem 2. You can go back to problem 2 and see how to do that. All right, the next one was 59. Somebody asked about 59. Graph, without graphing, determine how many x-intercepts. So 0.25x squared. Make sure I write this down right this time, plus 2x plus 4. Again, we're using the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. So it's going to be 2 squared minus 4 times 0.25 times 4. It's going to be 4 minus 4, which equals 0. So 1 real solution to 1x intercept. Okay, remember if this is 0, is 1. If it's greater than 0, is 2. If it's less than 0, is none. And the other one was 65. Y equals negative 5x squared minus 4x plus 3. Again, when you use the discriminants, b squared minus 4ac. My b is negative 4, so that's negative 4 squared minus 4. My a is negative 5, and my c is 3. That's 16 plus 60, which is 76. So therefore, I have 2 x intercepts. 2 x intercepts. All right, let's see if anybody else had any other questions. All right, so that's it. All right, so just to review, we have completing the square or factoring, completing the square, and quadratic formula. All right, just to review them all again. Let's take, let's do number, let's do 3x squared is 2x plus 1 minus 1 equals 0. So if we're doing this by factoring, first and third term, 3, factors of 3 that would subtract equal 2, 3 and 1, that would be 3x squared plus 3x minus x minus 1. Make sure these two numbers equal this, they do. Factor the 3x, that's x plus 1, factor the negative 1, x plus 1, 0, 3x minus 1, times x plus 1. So what are my zeros? 1 and 3x minus 1. 3x equals 1, x equals 1/3. And this one is negative 1, right? All right, if we're completing the square, 3x squared plus 2x minus 1 equals 0. Isolate, 3x squared plus 2x equals 1. Get rid of the 3, x squared plus 2/3 x equals 1/3. Middle term, 2/3. Multiply by 1/2, which is divided by 2, correct? 2's cancel out. 1/3. And what are we going to do with that? Square it, which is? That's 1/9. Add to both sides. Factor. Square to the first term. Square to the third term. Sign in the middle. Simplify. 1/3 is the same thing as what over 9? 3 over 9. 3 over 9 plus 1/9. Let's take square root. The square root of this is? square root
Just
x plus 1/3. The square root sign, the square just disappears, right? The square root of 4/9 plus or minus 2/3, right? Take the 1/3 over, x equals negative 1/3 plus or minus 2/3. Negative 1 plus 2, negative 1 plus 2, 1/3, and negative 1 minus 2, correct. Completing the square, and then quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. My b is up here. Yep, this is my equation. 2. B squared minus 4. My a is. My c is 2 times 3, right? Because a. Yes? Negative 2 plus or minus 4. Negative 1 times 4 is 4 times 3 is 12 over 6. Oh, that's what you're doing, okay? Negative 2 plus or minus 4 plus 12 is 16 over 6. Square root of 16 plus or minus 4. So negative 2 plus 4, 2 over 6. And negative 2 minus 4 divided by 6. So, factoring, completing the square, quadratic formula. And one other thing I want to review, let's put that in vertex form. By completing the square, again we're going to do the same thing. Oops, let's do it this way. Y equals, we're going to separate 3x squared plus 2x minus 1. We're going to get rid of bring the 3 out. Y equals 3 times x squared plus 2/3 x minus 1. We're going to complete the square. What are we going to do in the middle term? Divide by 2 is the same thing as multiply by 1/2. 2/3 times 1/2. 1/3. Then do what? Which is? So I added 1/9 inside, but I really added what? 3 times 1/9. Where's 3 times 1/9? 3/9, which is? 1 over 3. So I added 1 over 3. So I really want to do what on the outside? Subtract 1/3. Correct. And 1 is the same thing as what over 3? Minus 1 over 3, which would be 4 over 3. So there's my vertex form. So again, a review of over what we've been doing. So our test that's coming up on Tuesday, we will have to know how to factor, solve by factoring, solve by completing the square, solve by quadratic formula, and be able to put in vertex form using completing the square. So that's what we have coming up on Tuesday. All right, so this weekend you have a Math XL quiz on Math XL. You can use your notes for that one. But it is timed, so make sure you watch your time on that. It deals with completing the square and solving by factoring. Your homework is going to be page 245, the same page, numbers 13 through 65, every other odd, and your Math XL quiz. So Math XL quiz and 13 through 65, every other odd. Okay? Everybody good? guys, if you have any questions, just email me, and then I can make sure I put it on the video the next day.